memorable night on the trail, or is it still kind of sinking in?
Most memorable night on the trail.
Or day or event. It doesn't have to be a night. I don't know. I just
I,
phrased it
I
that
don't,
way.
I don't, I'm just gonna have to just scan down to the states very quickly. Maine, incredible. Very, very trying in Maine. The beginning of Maine was horrible for me. Just bodily injury, mosquitoes, about everything you can imagine going wrong. But the Bigelows in Maine were beautiful. Avery Peak in the Bigelow Range, incredible. Smokey and I actually hiked up that together. The rest of our group, they did like a 13-mile day to a campsite, and Smokey and we really wanted to hike up to get the sunset up there, and we did. And that was at that point that was one of our biggest hikes, and the feeling of satisfaction of doing that last final push, and then the reward of such a nice sunset and a great place to camp. That was awesome. Of course, the White Mountains in New Hampshire, as I'm sure everyone knows, are unbelievable. The Presidentials, might be the most magnificent range on the whole trail. That was incredible to that in very inclement weather, which really added to the experience. And the Franconia Ridge following that is absolutely stunning. And then I enjoyed Massachusetts quite a bit. Lots of hiking through fields and old growth forests and quaint little towns, the Berkshires. I thought that was very nice. Met some very nice people. Stayed at a place called the Birdcage, which any thru-hiker knows. This guy Rob Bird ran, and he actually closed down shop this year. And we just feel so fortunate we were able to meet him and take part in that. And then, other than that, I'd have to say that this last little bit has been the most memorable. Maxey's Knob and Dragon's Tooth and Tinker Cliffs are just stunning areas, beautiful views, and then this weather just really kind of, it's what separates the men from the boys. As I was telling Pace the other day, but this is where you see what people are made of, and if they got what it takes to keep moving in this sort of weather, because it's not all fun.
Absolutely. That's a perfect lead into my next question. I asked Smokey this, and I'll ask you the same. What advice and what did you see, because I'm sure you saw a number of people get off the trail for good. What advice and what could you tell someone that's planning a thru hike in the future to ensure that they make it all the way?
Well, I'm just going to shoot from the top here. What's coming to mind first is don't burn out. A lot of people they get really caught into the miles and really pushing it, and then they lose the drive, and they're just burnt out, and they just don't want this. It's not fun anymore. They don't want to do it, and which is fine, but don't burn out. It's like anything. It's like staying up too late studying for a test at school, or working too hard, or whatever. Just don't burn out. Make sure you take care of your body and your mind, and enjoy yourself. Sorry, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, finish. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say this is an experience for you. Like we say out here, hike your own hike. So you do your own thing. You do what makes you happy. Most people out here for various reasons, trying to figure out their future or any number of issues. Everyone's got their own reasons for being out here. But one thing that you need to do is you need to have fun. You need to have a good time, and you need to, take time to smell the coffee, look around you, see what, really be in the moment and appreciate what you're doing.
Did you ever have a time where you were questioning it and you said, I'm not enjoying this anymore?
No, that's never been an option for me. But there have been times where I pushed it too hard, and my body paid the toll, and it wasn't enjoyable. And that leads me into the other big thing I'd say, and that is that the trail is not going to be all enjoyable, and I knew that going into it. That there will be good times and there will be bad times, and there'll be plenty of both. A lot of times it's a real struggle out here. It's a struggle, not usually to survive. Most of the time it's not dangerous or anything like that. There are times where it is, but in general it's pretty it's a pretty good time. But sometimes you're just not going to have fun. Occasionally people are going to get homesick. There's a variety of reasons, but you just need to know that it's not all going to be fun. And sometimes part of it being fun is that in the short term it's not fun, but you persevered, you went through it, and then it's like, oh wow, I just did something really cool, and so you get that delayed gratitude, which I think in our society these days is a little bit rare. Everyone wants that instant gratification, and that's not how it is out here all the time. Sometimes you get that instant gratification, but sometimes you got to earn it.
Absolutely. So. Do you carry a luxury item, something that you don't need the weight, but you take it anyway?
That's a great question. I think you should ask everybody that. Luxury item. My tent is a bit of a luxury item. I have a 2-person tent, a 2-person extra long tent. Part of that's because I'm 6'3" and I'm a pretty big guy, and I like my space, and I also like being able to keep all my gear inside of my tent if there's inclement conditions like rain or snow. So I like that. Other luxury item, I have a billy pot. It's kind of a big cooking pot, and it weighs a little bit more than most people's cooking pots, but I'm attached to it. I picked it up when I was in New Zealand doing a hike to the top of the country over there back in '07, and I haven't done any hiking with it since, or without it since. And other than that, well, how would I describe that? I would. Well, I have this headlamp, and I'm not sure if you really call it a luxury item, but it's very cool. It's a Petzl Tikka headlamp, and a Tikka XP to be specific, and they sell rechargeable batteries for them, and not batteries that you put in them, but an actual battery pack that slides in between the back of the light and the front of it, so that you can actually just charge that battery pack with, let's say, if you have a smartphone, with your mini USB charger.
Similar to I'm thinking of like a video camera battery, something like that.
Kind of, yeah. It's just like a camera, yeah.
Just smaller.
It's a little different, but it's just a little battery cell, and it just snaps right in there. It looks like part of the headlamp, and all I got to do is take my phone charger and plug it in, and I still have never ran out of battery. I've gone 2 weeks without charging it, and it still goes. So that's not so much a luxury item, but something I'd highly recommend people looking into. And
I'm sure it saves you in the bank as well.
Yeah, and I'm all about trying to have the most sustainable hike as possible, least environmental impact, and so I really get a good feeling about that. I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. Like, yes, I am saving money, which is definitely big, and then on the other hand, not only am I saving money, but I'm also, decreasing the amount of batteries in the landfill. So that feels great too.
Well, you're halfway through. You've had a long time to think. Do you have plans for when you finish, or are you just kind of concentrating on finishing right now?
I do. I'm not sure my exact plans. Might have to come join you out west. That's been before I started the trail. I'll say that I was going to move to Colorado and start out there and kind of branch out, figure out what I wanted to do there. Something obviously.
I've been here 8 weeks, and I can tell you it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, I've quite a few friends from Virginia out there, and it's been on my agenda for a while now. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is go back and get my stuff organized. I have my room at my mother's house is just a storage unit, so I'm going to go get all my stuff organized so it's ready for my next move. I'm going to retake the LSAT, the law school admissions test. I took it once. I did okay. I'm going to take it again, see if I can do a little better. I was working so much, I didn't really have time to study properly. So now that I kind of have a little bit of a lull, I'm done hiking, I'm going to do that again and apply to law schools. I may not go next year, but I at least want to have my applications going so that, when and if I do decide to go, I'm ready from that standpoint. And then I think I'm actually probably going to end up moving to California. That's the plan right now. So.
Well, I appreciate your time. And before we let you go, is there anything in closing that you want to say to community, fellow hikers, or just anyone that's helped you?
Well, got to give a shout out to the Joint Commission. That's my original crew. I started in Maine with. Great bunch of guys. Smokey is one of those guys. always looking out for them, and wishing them the best along their hike. At this moment, I'd just like to say thank you very much to the captain. Any other thru-hikers that have been fortunate enough to meet him, I'm sure feel the same way I do. He's just a great guy out there doing a great thing. We tried to leave him a little bit of money. He wouldn't have it. He didn't want the money. He just was very happy to be helping people out. And it's just very nice to see people like that restore a bit of your faith in humanity when it's kind of hard to keep that feeling in the world sometimes. So.
Absolutely. Well, I really do again appreciate your time, and I wish you the best of luck on the rest of your
Jimmy,
trail.
thanks so much for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you, and if you want to get back in touch with me like a month down the line or before I finish my hike, please do. I'll give you a status update on Frogman 1.
We would love that. Absolutely. Well, thanks again,
all right, Jimmy.
And hopefully the weather's a little better this next week.
I think we're gonna have some snow for a while, but we'll persevere. I think we're gonna have some snow for a while, but we'll persevere. I think we're gonna have some snow for a while, but we'll persevere. I think we're gonna have some snow for a while, but we'll persevere.